I have been thinking about this phenomenon quite a bit in my life, and I've been through it a lot of times, and I think a lot of my friends and peers also have had it, as everyone really. Especially when I bring it up or somebody brings it up in conversation, I find people identifying as it quite quickly. That's this feeling of measuring up or falling back or not catching with everyone else or being behind when you're actually not. And that's really interesting how each person has their own version of it. Thinking about it makes me really recognize myself in it. For example, the fact that I'm really competitive. For a very long time, I thought that's a good thing and a very good impact on my life. But I sort of started reconsidering some certain aspects of my life. Because I'm really motivated and because I love getting things done and do a lot of stuff being overproductive, that's a good thing. But at the same token, it has stolen a lot of joy and happiness from my life. So forward thinking isn't always the best thing to have, although it has its bright sides and not that good sides. It's just, always having to get better, be better, go forward and just ignore the disadvantages or anything else. That's itself not that healthy. And that's sort of an ugly fact to admit, but I'm like that, and I sort of try not to see the bad stuff about it, but you have to sort of come to the conclusion that you have to recognize it. But I try to figure out why does it come up so often in my life, and it's an ugly thing to admit that you always want to be like someone else, but you shouldn't really, and you don't want to do that, but you always compare yourself to other people. It takes away all the good stuff that you've got in you and makes every single unique thing about you just cancel it. I know what you're gonna say. You shouldn't look at others and you have to focus on yourself because it's your own path, but it just built into us. What do I mean by that? Imagine thousands and thousands of years ago, if you were a farmer and another farmer next to you were doing the same thing. Obviously, you had to find out what he was doing, why he was better to survive. So it's sort of built into us. So if you were that farmer, that was in your best interest to find out what he was doing and why is he getting greater results than you. And you know what? It gets really messy when you think that you are the part of a problem or I am the part of a problem. Like, who wants to show the worst moments of their life, right? And if you look at my Instagram and everything I post, you might think that I've got an extraordinary life, right? And yeah, I've had a good year and I've had a good life so far. I don't have anything to complain about. But what you post doesn't tell you the full story. Even though I had an incredible year and I've came across people that I never thought I would and went through stages where I never thought I would at my age and in this position. But what I post and what I show, it's not the full coin. And that's the same with everyone, even the people that you compare yourself to. And what people post online just don't tell the full story. It doesn't tell the story of self-doubt, of fear, of depression, of anxiety, of bad moments. It just doesn't. I'm not trying here to do it like a sub-story, but I'm just trying to tell that every single one of us have got that part where they felt that sadness or that depression or that not the best feeling in their life. And that's normal, and you don't have to look at others and think they've got the life that you want, whereas they don't show you what they don't want to show you. And I just think that a lot of people put that sort of part to the side and don't want to show that, but it's just a part of who we are. I mean, even I want to be happy as often as possible, but it's not always the case. I mean, who wouldn't want to be at that mode all the time? But I just think it's not how it works. It's just not. What I am saying here and what I'm trying to say is that this competitiveness and all this state of being super competitive, actually I start realizing little by little that it actually comes from a lack of self-love. I'm gonna speak in my case right now, and in case of people I know. But it's down below you. It's about not loving yourself enough. It's not like I'm saying that I'm not loving myself or I hate myself, and not like I'm not happy where I am in life and at what stage in my life I am, or who I am more importantly. I'm not talking about that. I think it's about not 100% fully accepting you and me accepting myself, which would be highly deliberating and feeling really free. This feeling of being behind, of feeling behind in life. Behind what? Whose measuring stick am I using? And everyone's using. Who is measuring where you are and where you should be? Like, where does this came from? It's just living in my brain. It's not actually a thing. Everyone's version of what things should be and how it should be, it's a different version. Here's why that's a clear sign that it's invented. It's invented by each individual. And that's not something that makes any rational sense. To think that life can be predicted or calculated, it's wrong. It's non-linear. It doesn't exist. You can't possibly calculate where you'll be in 5, 10 or 20 years. It's just not linear. And if you do that, you're just disappointing yourself. And I've done that and I disappointed myself. So I met this exceptional photographer and we just had like a heart-to-heart talk. So this guy's much older than me and he had much more life experience than I do. But in that certain conversation, he said a certain thing to me, and he said that basically I'm where you are at in life right now. I'm at the stage where I'm trying to figure out where am I going, what I'm gonna be doing and why. And that conversation, when he told me that was like, whoa. Why was such a huge revelation for me? It was like such a revelation for me. You know why? Because I realized that that's a thing that all of us go through in a different way. This experience is shared by absolutely everyone and it sort of unites us. And that's just kind of amazing, isn't it? And this was such a weight lifted off my shoulders in a way. The fact that I accepted that that's just everyone's individual journey that we all share in a way. And I'm not crazy for thinking that. And I just realized that a lot of us are going through this. And that's when I started accepting myself for who I am and acting for who I am. And basically there is not such a thing as being behind in life, because if you feel like you're being behind, you're just using someone else's measuring stick that's not right for your life, which is based on other people's success. And it just has no sense. It's arbitrary. It has no sense when linked to your life and the person who you are. And what I think is that I just need a reminder of that. It's just so easy to forget. Sometimes you just get messed up that all the images on social media, all the people around you, which is just not right. I feel like I have to remind myself about this every day. And I think that's why I decided to make this video, to remind myself and you that never compare yourself to others. You are who you are and accept you for who you are. You've got your own success, your own measuring stick. And never forget that, because it's so easy to forget. Alright guys, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. And share it with your friend if you feel like one of your friends feels the same way. Because it started to took me a while to sort of think about this and understand this. I will really appreciate if you'd share it. Also, hope you have a lovely end of your day. And be you and do you. Peace.